Right? Do you think men are around just to bug women?
Yes.
Why?
And to be helpful every once in a while.
All right, guys, so it's a little later tonight, 7:30 and whatnot. The sun goes down pretty early now that summer is coming to an end. What I did was I lined up my laser level. This is a perfect opportunity when it gets dark to come out here laser leveling as far as the top, where we have to cut it for the top braces. So it's going to be pretty fast and effective. I like the fact that this laser is pretty strong and it goes all the way around, even when there's a flashlight on it. I think you can see right there. So the right tool for the right job is definitely something you need. This would be a pain in the butt, trying to do the tape measure all the way to the ground. And plus, you never know, there could be little rocks and stuff like that get under the tape measure. So FYI, get a laser, preferably one that can level both ways, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal and vertical. Just because the daylight goes down doesn't mean that the job isn't done. So.
Hey guys, us again, Grant and Nicole from AnchorDownHomestead.
If you don't know who we are,
go check out all of our other videos.
There you go. I was waiting to see if you were going to say that.
We wanted to answer some questions really fast before we get started on our day of work. We had a subscriber reach out to us and wanted us to answer some questions for her.
Becca Fox, Instagram. So she asked about, she's around our age, which we're 22 years old. So I wonder if people would believe that. They probably would for you. She's around our age, and she said that she grew up with a pretty much non-homesteading family, and she's around people that don't do anything like this. I guess build stuff.
But she's really interested in doing this lifestyle and being off-grid. That's her hope one day, to be completely off-grid and to have her own homestead. So we just wanted to take our time and answer her question. So her first question was, where would you choose, what zone? I assume she's meaning like zone for gardening.
Cold weather.
Yeah, I don't know if we would choose anywhere else right now. I mean, we chose here because we liked the area, we liked the people, we liked the state's mindset.
If we ask you that question 4 months from now, you're going to be like, Florida, go to Florida.
But I think at the time, we wouldn't have chosen anything different.
No.
But yes, you do have to think about it. We have a very short growing season here. It's very hard to do warm weather crops, if anything.
Yeah.
You definitely have to have greenhouses if you want to extend your growing season. So that part of it is very hard, and winter is hard with animals. I mean, snow and everything just makes everything harder. So you do have to think about that. If you do not want to be doing anything outside in the snow, I would suggest somewhere that is south.
Yeah, for the homesteading question too, people that know this, I'm pretty sure you might agree, but homesteading isn't just in a garden. So when the horse fence goes down in the wintertime, if you have 3 to 4 feet of snow, which it can be up here, you have to fix the horse fencing.
Yeah.
So, and that, it doesn't matter if it's cold, doesn't matter if it's hot. So keep that in mind too. It's just not a pretty winter, and it's
I
very
think it
rough.
would be definitely different if we lived in the city and lived in an apartment and didn't have to be outside a lot like we do. It would be totally different. But I think if you're contemplating homesteading and animals and garden and building and all of that stuff, you do have to take into consideration the weather in the winter time. So if that is not what you want to do, then I would suggest somewhere south. I mean, we thought about Arizona for a while.
I mean, we even thought about getting a winter property.
We've thought about just going somewhere else in the winter, I mean, that's still up in the air, but it definitely makes life harder. So I would definitely choose something that you want to be doing stuff outside constantly. If you're doing stuff in the snow, then
I think one thing, you have to trade some stuff too. The weather up here in the summertime,
yeah,
it's not like in Tennessee or Florida where
or
it's
Arizona, where
or
it's like
Arizona,
100 and
triple digits. The humidity
yeah.
is ridiculous. There's barely any humidity up here. That's why, that's one of the
Yeah.
big factors.
So I think there's a toss up of
yeah,
which extremes you don't
yeah,
you
and
can
this
live with.
it might not be for the rest of our lives here. I mean, and nothing against it. It's just where we wanted a place where our values aligned, and that's another thing too. When you say zones, homesteading, yes, there's that. There's parts of California that are just like this, but I'll be damned if I ever live in California.
Yeah, so you have to just make sure that you
and nothing against Californians. It's just
an all
if you're
around
willing,
thing.
if you're willing to put up with certain things when it comes to permits. You know, a lot of people talk about the 2A situation with California. I'm more talking about permits and the cost of living, and yes, the guns.
Next question was the best way to make money. I think that's a tough question to answer. It really depends on your interests and what you want your homestead and everything to be eventually. I mean, if you're in an area where you can grow year round, I feel like, yeah, you could do
Like
the
a farm
crops
stand
and I mean,
what is it called, farmers market?
Yeah, we do have a farmer's market, and there are people that are successful in that. So it just depends. I think rentals are always a good idea if you could invest in other properties and be able to Airbnb it or rental. I mean, we have a ski resort that's right down the road from us. So if you could afford to do that, I think that is a great option to get passive income.
This also goes along with lifestyle. With money, you get into a certain rabbit hole and there's lots of rabbit holes with it. So you don't have to necessarily, if you're a homesteader, you don't necessarily have to do homesteading to make money.
Let
me go take care of it. Yeah.
There is kind of a missing thing in our community. There is not very many chicken growers that actually process and grow and sell to like restaurants or farmers market. So we really want to tap into that and get into that. There's so many other ways that you could make money, not homesteading, not anything that way. So it really just depends on your interests, kind of financial situation as well. I mean, I think always living below your means is a good option, because then you're not having to make as much money to be comfortable in the way that you live. Each personal situation question to kind of answer for yourself.
It doesn't have to be traditional. It doesn't have to be meat birds or, eggs, because that's a rough market. You're going against a lot of people, in that world. But if you're, so like cryptocurrency, I'm big into that. Investing, certain things where you can think outside the box to get income to support your lifestyle.
Yep. Question was, do you choose asking neighbors for help, building a community, or marry into it?
Shit, marry into money. Marry into money. All right, that's what I did. Look at her. You know what I'm saying? Multi-billionaire right here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could marry into it, but we didn't marry it. We came up here not knowing anybody, not having any friends, not having a community up here. So we didn't marry into anything.
We got our kid here.
And neither one of us grew up kind of homesteading or anything. So that wasn't really an option for us. We've kind of chose to build our community here. Good friends through Instagram, through YouTube, through just being out in town.
Yep.
I worked at the local hospital for a while. I made a couple of good friends there. So yeah, we're choosing to build our community with people that are like-minded with us and kind of have their own goals and are more entrepreneurial in their mindset.
Yep.
Because I think that helps you grow as an entrepreneur if you're around other people that are doing the same thing.
I'm very, very into networking. I make sure that we have friends in all places, because you never know when your building is going to collapse and then something happens where the community comes together to help out, or just everybody's helpful. And I'm very big on that. I like to help people out. They like to help us out, and we're very thankful. So once you find that area, think about how you can be a resource for people and how people can be a resource for you. And in turn, you got a good foundation for the community.
Yeah. And neighbors as well. I mean, you can always look to your neighbors. We have our neighbor here that's helping us today. Yep. We have other neighbors that are like family to us. Their kids come over all the time. So neighbors can be a part of your community, but they don't necessarily need to be the only ones that are a part of that. So.
Okay, next one, I'll read it. Any professional agencies with local knowledge of, sorry, I'm not making fun of the question, I'm making fun of my ability to read. Local knowledge of that area that I should be in contact with. Yes, there are different, so from an agency standpoint, state, local, all those different municipalities. That's what you said?
Good word.
Good word, thanks.
Good vocab word.
There's different programs out there. Say, for example, you know, this day and age, being politically correct, Nicole is a female, right? A woman. Who even knows what that is nowadays? But she's a woman. She's a minority. She's a veteran. She's a Hispanic. Like, there's so many things out there. I'm not getting into the realm of the political side of that. What I'm saying is there's agencies that are strictly helping, or there's agencies that are helping people in different groups. Be that a minority group, a veteran group, disabled group,
Just women starting a small business. There are different groups like that focus specifically on those types of people, and they can always be there as a resource for you.
All the agencies out there usually have liaisons and websites that you can talk to about things and see what you qualify for. Now, if you're going that route where you got the government helping you, keep in mind the government everything's not free, so it's usually something to where they want something back in return from you.
And it takes forever, so don't be relying on anything that is coming from the government. So.
Thank you. You're speaking my language. I would do that, but once again, this goes back into the networking realm, because it might not be the best route to go through, USDA. If you want to go down this realm of homesteading or just building your own property or anything big, the planning stages have to be started. You can't just get analysis. You can't get paralysis through analysis and talk about it, because eventually you have to do something, because we've seen it where people, I was going to do that for many years. I planned this and that, and nothing happens. So the biggest step is just do it. And you're doing the right thing. Becca Fox. You're doing the right thing, Becca Fox. And we do get questions on a lot of stuff. And finally, we just decided to answer a lot of these questions that others might have these questions as well. And hopefully it helps and gives you some answers.
Yeah. So if anybody else has questions for us, please always,
send them over.
You can reach out and we will try our best to answer them. And back to our build today. Grant went out last night and did the laser on the top and cut off and marked all of the top of our studs so that we know exactly where we need to cut everything. So he's going to focus on getting all those cut today. And our neighbor, Steve, is going to help me, and we're going to do some blocking. We're doing blocking at 8 feet. So we're doing blocking, which is putting wood in between the studs. Keeps your wall more secure and tighter together.
It helps the integral structure of the building. The structural integrity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helps the structural integrity of the wall. So we will be doing that today. Let's get to it.
We got our little helper down here.
Yeah.
All right, can I get that tape measure? That's not going to work out the way I thought it was going to be. There we go, babe. Is that good right there?
Sure.
Want to do it with my hands? All right. Hey, cut that out. No tomfoolery. Babe. Can you whack it? Yeah, can you whack it from that side? There you go. 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 Get it. Get it. Get it. There you go. There you go. Goodness. This is why yesterday when you're like, why not? I can't move. When she was in between your legs, I said, no, absolutely not. I just... Oh. You want to feel my heart right now? It flashed right between my eyes.
Your heart flashed?
Or my life did. Sorry.
Null and void.
Yeah. So the other day, my friend, I asked, what should I do to help, grow the channel, and told me, get people to feel like they're involved when we're doing these videos. And he said, you need to get to know your audience, and your audience needs to get to know you, and you have to let them know who you are. I respect that, because that makes sense. You don't want to watch a YouTube channel where you don't really know the people, and you know their values and how they grew up. I think this brings a good point right now of what I'm doing, kind of to how I grew up. Family moved from state to state. It wasn't because of the military or anything. It was, they built communities, then they'd go to the next community once one subdivision or whatever is done. And so we moved around a lot. But money was tight. Need to be resourceful was definitely a part of my upbringing. A billionaire once said some of the good advice. What's it take to become a billionaire? And one thing he said was to grow up poor, to grow up without money, to grow up in an environment that makes you want to have financial success. I agree with that. It's pretty solid advice, because unfortunately some people out there think that it's all about working hard. Get out of the right mindset. You gotta be smart with your time, smart with your money, smart with stuff that you have. Do I have money to go out and buy a new extension cord? Absolutely. But it's all about time management right now. Do I have the time to go out there and do it? Yeah. But I'm also trying to build a house. So more productivity here at the homestead, less finances going out when I take things like this and I fix them. And the reason why I talked about my youth is because I didn't have the money to go out and buy stuff. I would get stuff from dumpster diving, and I'd learn how to fix it. And what that did was just teach me to be resourceful. Coming pretty soon. Alpha Max pretty soon. Was I bugging you yesterday when you asked for me to open that jar?
That's why I said it'd be helpful.
Oh, other than that, we're just here for you, right? To bug you like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Go ahead.
What am I saying?
Are you going to welcome people back?
Oh, okay.
Welcome back. No. Go ahead, babe. Sorry. Everything. Pickles. I got a whole Red Lobster in here, I think, too. So, FYI, it's not that it gets easier. You have to just learn how to keep them busy. And if they're not busy, they're complaining. Sounds familiar.